Hey guys, so today I wanted to discuss what does abuse look like in our family when a victim is experiencing domestic abuse firsthand. How does it affect their family? Um, I'm kind of going to just go off the top of my head on this one. I didn't really take notes. Um, so I want to start off with first. It may make it may make the victim feel isolated. Um, the isolation is due to they aren't ready to reveal their circumstances to the ones that love them, that are there to protect them from this abuse. It could also make a victim feel shameful. They're too ashamed to share this information because maybe family members expected uh, more positive aspects out of this person. Um, and so this person may be feeling ashamed. I can't go to my family and tell them this is what's happening to me. But I'm here to tell you you're wrong. You can go to your family or your most trusted confidant and share these things with them because it will um, benefit you with getting away from that abuser. Um, how does it affect children? What if there are children involved in this uh, relationship? Well, with your children, um, it could create anxiety in that child, depression, um, social anxiety, um, not just regular fearfulness, but social anxiety where they might have a hard time developing positive friendships with people or being around people altogether. And then it also places a responsibility on on that child when they witness a parent being domestically abused. They feel like, okay, well, mom or maybe it's dad aren't doing anything about this, and that means I need to step in and save mom or save dad. That's a lot of responsibility for a young child or young adult to have to carry on their shoulders when they're witnessing, this domestic abuse, be it daily or weekly or monthly or however the term of your abuse is going. So these are just some things to think about when you're dealing with a person who you suspect is being abused, or when the victim themselves are trying to figure out, who can I turn um, to confide in about what I'm going through that can help steer me out of this negative environment. Um, Another thing that the victim may experience is PTSD due to abuse, prolonged abuse. And not always prolonged, sometimes it's short term abuse that can be traumatic enough to make that person feel that, I don't, everyone's going to treat me this way. And that's not always the case. Um, we can't take it personally um, if this person allows us to be a part of their experience by confiding in us or not confiding in us. What we can do, because I am a very spiritual person, is just pray for this person, pray for that person, pray over them and their family, um, that God keeps their protection over them, um, and that God enlightens them to want a more positive aspect out of life in their relationship, and and eventually do want help. But we can't take it personally and say, okay, well, you obviously want to stay there. You obviously don't want help. They want help, they just don't know how to ask yet, or they're afraid to ask, or they're not sure what the outcomes will be. Because when you're so familiar with being in an abusive relationship, that's all you know. And so, what could life look like outside of that? Um, Another thing I would like to add, when it comes to children witnessing a parent being abused, it also creates an alienation between that parent and the child, especially when the child feels that the parent is not stopping it or getting away from that person. It begins to form an alienation with that child, where that child recognizes, I don't want to be in this toxic negative environment. I need to get away. And in a lot of cases, our children are the ones who confess our sins. They'll go to other adults and say, I see this happening and I don't like it, but my parent, be it mom or dad, aren't doing anything about it. And in some cases, it's unfortunate because, we may be separated from our child when our child decides they no longer want to be a part of this environment, and we don't want them to be in this toxic environment. So we'll allow them to go and live with someone else that can keep them safe. But what about keeping us safe, the victim? How do you keep the victim safe? Um, and in a lot of cases, it's really about the victim confiding, letting people know, this is what's happening. I don't like it. Um, it's toxic and I need help. So, um, again, I didn't really write anything out. This is all off the top of my head. If you have any questions, feel free to definitely inbox me or comment them.